The Kefmari had been observing the human research station for 3 cycles now, their advanced cloaking technology rendering them completely invisible to any known detection method in the galaxy. Or, so they believed. Commander Zixtala adjusted the quantum phase modulator on her reconnaissance suit, ensuring perfect light refraction around her sleek, crystalline form. The humans below continued their mundane activities, cataloging mineral samples, analyzing atmospheric readings, completely oblivious to the 5-member Kefmari infiltration team, hovering mere meters above their heads. Primitive species, muttered Scout Villanara through their neural link. Their sensors can't even detect basic photon displacement. This will be easier than consuming a nebula slug. The Kefmari Collective had deemed humanity a potential threat after their rapid expansion across 17 star systems in less than 50 rotations. Such aggressive colonization usually indicated advanced military capability, yet their technology appeared laughably inferior. The reconnaissance mission was meant to assess human defenses before the inevitable conquest. Dr. Sarah Cheon stepped out of the research facility, her breath forming small clouds in a thin Kepler 442c atmosphere. She paused, tilting her head slightly as if listening to something. The gesture struck Zixtala as odd. There was no sound except the gentle hum of the station's atmospheric processors. Interesting, Chun murmured, pulling out what appeared to be a primitive handheld device. She pointed it toward the sky, sweeping it in a slow arc. What is the human doing? Asked Operative Quindle, his anxiety rippling through their shared consciousness. Probably some crude atmospheric analysis, Zixtala replied dismissively. Maintain positions and continue. Observation. Chun's device began emitting soft beats, increasing in frequency as she pointed it directly at Zixtala's position. The human's eyes narrowed, and she spoke into her communication device. Houston, this is Dr. Chun. I'm detecting unusual electromagnetic signatures, multiple sources, approximately 15 meters above the main facility. Zixtala felt her crystalline heart skip a beat. That was impossible. Their cloaking technology bent electromagnetic radiation around them completely. No human sensor should detect even the slightest anomaly. Commander, Villanara's mental voice carried traces of panic. Perhaps we should relocate. Negative. Human sensors are primitive. It must be detecting some natural phenomenon. Chung continued her scan, the device's beeping growing more insistent. She began walking directly toward their position, her gaze fixed on seemingly empty air. When she stopped directly beneath Zixtala, the human did something that sent chills through every Kefmari present. She smiled and looked up. You know, Chun said conversationally, her voice carrying clearly in the thin air, your cloaking technology is impressive. Light refraction, electromagnetic dampening, even gravitational field nullification. Quite sophisticated for a species that's never encountered humans before. The Kefmari team froze in perfect terror. This was impossible. No species in the galaxy had ever detected their infiltration technology. Chin continued, seemingly addressing the empty sky. The thing is, you made one tiny miscalculation. You? Assumed human senses work the same as everyone else's. She tapped her temple. Humans evolved on a world teeming with predators. We developed something most species didn't need: an acute awareness of being watched. We call it intuition, but it's actually our brains processing thousands of microstimuli below conscious level. Zixtala's mind raced. The human was somehow aware of their presence, but this had to be an elaborate bluff. Their technology was flawless. But that's not how I found you, Chun said, her smile widening. See, your cloaking bends light around. But it doesn't account for thermal displacement. The human eye can't detect it, but our satellites can map temperature variations down to 0.001 degrees Celsius. The commander felt her confidence wavering. Thermal imaging was elementary technology, but their suits should compensate for heat signatures. Oh, and the electromagnetic thing. Chun held up her device. This isn't detecting your ships directly. It's measuring the absence of cosmic background radiation. Your cloaking creates perfect dead zones areas where radiation should exist, but doesn't. To us, you're not invisible. You're negative space. Operative Quindo broke formation, panic overriding protocol. Commander, we need to retreat immediately. Still not how I knew exactly where you were, Chun continued calmly. She reached into her pocket and pulled out what looked like a simple audio recorder. This little device has been recording for the past hour. Want to guess what it picked? Up? She pressed play. The device emitted a series of subtle whistling sounds, rhythmic and clearly artificial. Air displacement, Chen explained. Your antigrav systems are pushing atmosphere around you in predictable patterns. To human ears, it sounds like wind. To our instruments, it's a signature as clear as a foghorn. Zixtala felt her team's panic spreading through their neural link like wildfire. This primitive human had not only detected their presence, but had systematically analyzed and countered their most advanced stealth technology using methods so simple they'd never considered them. Now, Chun said, looking directly at Zixtal's position, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. My government knows you're here. Our orbital defense platforms have been tracking your approach vector since you entered the system. This was never about whether we could see you. It was about whether you realized we could see you. The human stepped closer, lowering her voice to barely above a whisper. So here's what's going to happen. Commander Zixtal of the Kethmari Collective 3rd Reconnaissance Division. You're going to decloak. We're going to have a civilized conversation about why you're spying on us. And maybe, just maybe, we can avoid the orbital bombardment my species is so famous for. Zixtala's world collapse. The human knew her name, her rank, her unit designation. This was no primitive species stumbling in the dark. This was a predator that had been watching the watchers. With trembling appendages, she reached for her suit's decloak mechanism. As her form shimmered into visibility, Chun's smile never wavered. Welcome to Earth's neighborhood, the human said pleasantly. Population, exactly as many as we want it to be. The other Kethmari materialized around them, their crystalline faces reflecting the sudden, terrifying realization that they had never been the hunters in this scenario. They had been the prey all along.